Hold on to your seats because the streets of love and hip-hop Atlanta are on fire again. And this time, it's messier than ever. Word is buzzing from multiple insider whispers and shocking fan footage that a major eruption just went down on set. Reports are flooding in that Yandy Smith Harris has stormed off filming in tears, slamming doors behind her after a jaw-dropping altercation where Rasheeda allegedly took sides, but not with who you'd expect. No, not with her longtime friend, but with Jessica. And things got ugly real fast. They say the drama popped off like a volcano during what was supposed to be a peaceful girls' night, but instead it turned into chaos. We're talking flying wigs, screaming accusations, and friendships hanging by a thread. Fans are still trying to piece it all together, but early leaks suggest Rasheeda's shocking betrayal cut Yandy deepened. Jessica didn't hold back with her words or her hands. What really went down? Why did Rasheeda switch sides? And what did Jessica say that made Yandy lose it entirely? Don't worry, we've got every messy detail and emotional twist coming your way. You're not going to want to miss this one. It's giving betrayal, heartbreak, and pure love and hip-hop fire. It was supposed to be a simple dinner to lighten the mood after weeks of tension, but as soon as Yandy walked in, you could feel the current in the room shift. The long mahogany table was set with flickering candles and rose petals strewn across the center, a stark contrast to the brewing storm. Jessica was already there, perched at the head of the table, her posture relaxed but her gaze sharp, scanning for her target. Rasheeda arrived moments later, offering forced smiles and soft laughter, though the tension in her shoulders betrayed her nerves. The rest of the cast trickled in, exchanging awkward greetings and furtive glances, aware that tonight could blow up at any moment. Yandy slid into her chair, taking a deep breath before forcing a smile. She poured herself a glass of sparkling water, her fingers trembling slightly across from her. Jessica raised her wine glass and gave a slow, deliberate toast to truths we can't hide. The room fell silent. Yandy's lips tightened. She responded with a polite cheers, but the cold edge in her voice cut through the hush. Rasheeda cleared her throat, attempting to salvage the mood. "Let's just eat and talk about fun things," she said, but her voice cracked. Everyone knew she was trying to play peacekeeper, but peace was the last thing on anyone's mind. The appetizers arrived. Shrimp cocktails and bruschetta, but no one touched a bite. Jessica leaned forward, elbows on the table, her eyes never leaving Yandy. "So Miss Perfect, how's life treating you now that you're so busy bossing everyone around?" The words dripped with sweetness and poison. Yandy's hand paused midair, shriek of silverware halted. She took a breath. "I'm doing great," she said, voice steady though her cheeks flushed. "Funny how some people need to tear others down to feel big." Rasheeda shifted uncomfortably. Jessica smiled, that knowing smile, one corner of her mouth twitching. "Tear down, girl. I've just been keeping it real. Some of us don't have time for fake crowns." Whispers rustled among the other ladies. Bambi fiddled with her napkin. Erica looked away, pretending to examine her plate. Rasheeda glanced at both sides. Torn Yandy set down her fork. "Real crowns. I built everything from nothing. Do you think struggle? Try actually working." Jessica let out a light laugh. "Oh honey, you acting like you invented hard work. Don't forget who's been grinding just as long." Hot embers of old wounds glowed as accusations flew like sparks. Rasheeda tried to intervene. "Stop it, both of you. It's why we're here to bondbother.com." Voice was lost beneath the rising storm. Voices overlapped. Yandy accusing Jessica of cloud chasing. Jessica firing back about broken promises. Rasheeda caught between loyalty to a friend and a bond fractured by secrets. The air tasted like tension and spilled wine. The others watched, some sympathizing, some gleeful. Cameras rolled, capturing every expression, every tremble of the lip, every clench of the fist. The crew exchanged nervous looks. Do we cut? Let it ride. The dinner devolved. Jessica slammed her hand on the table, making glasses clink. "You think you're the only one with a story? Newsflash. Everybody's got dirt." Yandy stood her chair, scraping the floor. "You think? I don't know. You think you can come for me with rumors?" She moved toward Jessica, voice shaking with anger and hurt. Rasheeda rose to stepping between them. Yandy. Chill, she placed a hand on each of their arms, but neither listened. Yandy turned on Rasheeda. Stay out of this. You're just jealous you didn't get the crown. Laughter bubbled from Jessica, high-pitched and cruel. That's right. Rasheeda, say it. You know who deserves the throne? Rasheeda's face hardened. I'm not picking sides, but the words sounded hollow. Yandy's eyes filled. Then what are you doing playing both ends? The scene felt like slow motion. Rasheeda's hand faltered. Jessica sneered. Yandy's lip quivered. Then Rasheeda dropped her hands and looked directly at Yandy. Maybe you should look in the mirror. Silence fell. Like a guillotine, Yandy's breath caught you too. She whispered. Rasheeda's head bowed. I'm tired of pretending. The betrayal was visible in Yandy's eyes. Shock, pain, disbelief. Jessica stepped closer, voice low. That's right, we tired of the act. Yandy backed away. The table between them felt insurmountable. Glasses tipped over, red wine pooling, mirroring the tension that stained the night. Someone screamed, but it was drowned out by the thunder outside. The rain hammered against windows, as if matching the chaos inside. Yandy grabbed her purse. I'm done. She stormed off her heels, licking like a heartbeat on the hardwood floor. Cameras followed her. Jessica and Rasheeda watched their victory, soured by the look on Yandy's retreating form in the hallway. Yandy stopped, leaning against the wall, tears slipping free. She covered her face. Gasping footsteps approached Tariq. Concerned, Yandy, Erica asked softly. Yandy glanced up. Ready? They turned on me, she said, voice breaking. Erica reached out. Who? Rasheeda. To Yandy nodded, wiping her cheeks. They both betrayed me. Back in the dining room, the cast sat in stunned silence. Rasheeda stared at her hands. Jessica's triumphant smile faltered. Bambi whispered to Scrappy, this isn't over. Scrappy shook his head. Nah, this one's just beginning. Cameras panned, capturing every flicker of regret on Rasheeda's face and every triumphant flash in Jessica's eyes. Outside, Yandy paced under the awning, rain dripping from her hair. Her phone buzzed nonstop with callers labeled producer, publicist, cast. She ignored them. Inside, the crew debated whether to cut the scene or let it play. Social media would explode. Fans already lived. She slammed the phone down and stood pacing the small space. Memories flooded back. The nights she leaned on Rasheeda, the times she gave Jessica a chance. She reminded herself of her own strength, the career she built with grit and grace. Doubting voices crept in. The late nights, the hidden rumors, the whispers of grudges. She swallowed hard and forced herself to breathe. This was just more ammunition for the show, she told herself. But show or not, her blood still boiled outside her trailer. Rasheeda approached, hesitant. She'd been awake early, haunted by guilt and uncertainty. When she saw Yandy's red-rimmed eyes, she swallowed. I heard about the memo, she said quietly. Yandy glared, fists clenched at her sides. You heard? Did you leak it? Rasheeda shook her head, voice trembling. No, Yandy, I didn't, I swear. Yandy's chest heaved. Then who? She whispered. Rasheeda looked away. Silent between them lay a gulf of suspicion wider than any table. Jessica, backstage for a styling session, was smirking at her reflection. Her hairstylist tapped nervously. You okay? She asked. Jessica adjusted her wig with deliberate slowness. I'm more than okay, she replied. I'm electric. She sent a text and watched the little blue ticks flicker. A strategy meeting was in motion. Clips would drop, reactions, recorded alliances tested. This was her masterpiece. She thrived on chaos, and the studio was her canvas. The crew called everyone to the set for a group scene. Gandhi arrived, last, shoulders tense. She avoided eye contact with Jessica, who lounged with an air of unshakable confidence. Rasheeda hovered between them, silent and pale. Cameras rolled as producers captured every sideways glance, every micro-expression on cue. The women began the semi-casual brunch conversation, but it dissolved into clipped questions and withering glares. City skyline behind them felt like a silent witness to the unfolding drama. Yandy Y single quotes as replied to Jessica's casual good morning. Queen Bee was ice cold. I don't do titles for people who stab me in the back. The faux brunch collapsed into real animosity. Rasheeda tried to steer the conversation back to pleasantries, but laughter behind the camera interrupted her. A handheld off-camera shot jerked toward Jessica, who was gloating. That shot cut immediately too. Yandy's furious reaction, furious, impressive storm clouds in her eyes. After the shoot, the cast retreated to the green room. A hush fell as they noticed Yandy's stormy expression. Bambi whispered to Erica, "We need to defuse this," but neither dared approach Yandy. Instead, Erica sat beside Rasheeda, who stared at nothing. Scrappy tapped his foot, irritated by the silence, crossed the room and leaned in, voice low. "Y'all got to talk this out." No one moved. Meanwhile, fans online screamed for a roundtable. Tweets demanded a sit-down. A heart-to-heart mediated by cameras. #trended #Yandy storm off. Would record her version of events. Part 2 of the drama would hinge on these confessions, raw and unfiltered. Yandy agreed to tape. First, she sat before the camera, makeup stir, with tears from the night before. Her voice shook as she spoke. "I came here to uplift, to support. Instead, I was blindsided, and what hurts most is Rasheeda, someone I trusted with my heart." She paused, swallowed. "Jessica, I don't even know why you're mad at me, but hearing that laughter on that voice memo, it cut deepest." Her words carried pain. Cameras caught every tremor. Next was Rasheeda. She sat beneath harsh lights, shoulders slumped. "I made a mistake," she began, voice barely audible. "It. My fear of losing favor blind me. Yandy has been my friend since day one. But Jessica, her laughter in that tape, I felt power in it, and I followed." She exhaled heavily. "I regret it. I want to make it right." Her gaze flicked upward, voice shaky. "Please forgive me." Her confession hung in the air, fragile as glass. Then Jessica took the seat. She smirked at the camera. "You want my side?" she asked, voice smooth. "I'm real. I'm honest, Yandy. She's been playing a game for too long. Royalty games, queen acts. You get tired of crowns, so I knocked it off. Let the words settle. Sorry if that hurts feelings, but this is reality TV only. Truth stays on top." She leaned forward, eyes gleaming. "And I'm on top." The confessional tapes were edited into a special episode. Teaser, dramatic music, rapid cuts, flash frames of tears, gasps, and scornful laughter. The teaser went live on social media that afternoon, and the internet exploded. Fan commentaries poured in, sympathizers for Yandy, critics of Jessica, merciful hearts for Rasheeda. Reactions were instantaneous, and fierce production scheduled an emergency cast meeting. Everyone gathered in a circle under studio lights. Silence weighed heavily until the executive producer spoke. "We're at a crossroads. This drama is gold for ratings, but real friendships are at stake. We need a resolution, whether that's on camera or off." Rasheeda's shoulders shook. She bit her lip. Yandy clenched her nails into fists. Jessica folded her arms, unblinking. Erica stepped forward, voice calm. "We've been through so much together. We can't let one moment define us, but we also need honest-ish." Looked at Rasheeda. "Will you apologize too?" Yandy in person. Rasheeda nodded, tears in her eyes. Yandy stood, arms crossed. "Go ahead," she said, voice tight. Rasheeda approached slowly. "I'm sorry, Yandy. I was wrong." She stopped a foot away. Yandy's eyes filled. She exhaled, but her posture remained rigid. Then Jessica spoke, cutting the tension. I don't owe you an apology. But maybe we need to talk this out too." She stepped forward. Yandy's jaw tightened, and for a moment, the whole room held its breath. Then Yandy said, "I never expected you to say sorry. Jessica, I expected you to rebuild trust." Her words were like ice and fire combined. The executive producer sighed. "This is TV gold, but it's also real life for you girls." Part 3 of this story will be the reconciliation or the fallout. Either way, cameras will be rolling. The girls nodded, each lost in their own thoughts. As the meeting adjourned, Rasheeda lingered beside Yandy as she reached out, and Yandy didn't pull away for a brief second. It looked like healing. Scrappy prowled the hallways, phone in hand, checking trending hashtags and reaction videos. He scrolled through angry tweets defending Yandy, memes mocking Rasheeda's indecision, fan edits praising Jessica's boldness. He paused at a comment. "This season's drama is next level." He smirked, then frowned. this wasn't just TV, was real emotions spilling out. He debated stepping in as mediator or letting the situation play out conflict. Fueled ratings, but he cared about these women too. He sighed and pocketed. His phone lunch was supposed to be a group picnic scene in the park, but only half the cast showed up. Yandy declined, requesting a solo confessional shoot instead. Rasheeda arrived late, eyes red, avoiding eye contact. Jessica strode in confidently, phone in hand, ready to film a live reaction video. Producers paged everyone, but tension hung thick as humidity cameras rolled on empty benches and scattered picnic baskets. The contrast between scripted smiles and real anger was stark in the trailer. Yandy looked straight into the camera. Her voice was steady now, but the edge of heartbreak was clear. She spoke of loyalty, trust, and the pain of betrayal. She didn't mention names, but her words cut deep. Sometimes you think you know someone until they show you who they really are, she said, and then there's no turning back. She paused, swallowing. I'm choosing myself now, the confessionalist. On her determined face, a warrior ready for the next round. Rasheed. I sat under harsh lights, rehearsing her apology. She paced back and forth before the camera. When it was her turn, she looked into the lens and said, I made a choice that hurt the person I love most. Yandy, you have every right to be mad. I can only ask for forgiveness and promise to earn it back. Tears filled her eyes. She mouthed, I'm sorry again. After the take, as soon as the lights dimmed, she collapsed into a chair, head in hands. The weight of her mistake felt crushing. Jessica's single quotes' reaction video went live while the others filmed their confessionals. She sat before a backdrop of neon lights, phone in selfie mode. Fans want the tea. Here's the truth. I'm tired of playing sidekick to a queen who thinks she's above it all. I did what anyone would do. I took my shot, she said, flashing a winning grin. She winked at the camera and signed off with, stay tuned for more realness. The video amassed thousands of views. Minutes later, the three women were called to a mediated sit-down, triangular confessional with a single round table. The lights were low, the cameras hidden but rolling. Yandy sat between Erica and Scrappy. Rasheeda on one side, Jessica on the other. The executive producer's voice came through a muted speaker. We need resolution or escalation. Your choice. Silence fell. Yandy's gaze locked on Rasheeda. Rasheeda's lips trembled. Jessica watched, arms crossed. With a shaky breath, Yandy spoke first. I came here to build, not destroy. I trusted you, Rasheeda, and you stabbed me in the back. Rasha. Daisies welled. I'm sorry, she whispered. I was scared of losing you, so I chased approval. Yandy closed her eyes, then opened them. That hurt, she said softly, but I see your regret. She turned to Jessica. And why did you laugh at me? Why make me the villain? Jessica's smirk faded. Because in this world, only the bold survive, she replied. I wanted to prove I have power. To tension rippled through the trio. Erica and Bambi exchanged nervous glances. Scrappy cleared his throat. This is TV, but it's also real. You three need to decide how to move forward. Rasheeda looked pleadingly at Yandy. Can we try to heal? She asked. Jessica stared at them, silent. Finally, she said, I don't know if I can forgive or forget, but I respect the honesty. The words hung like fragile bridges. Yandy nodded. I'm open to finding a way, but trust takes time. Rasheeda reached over and gently held Yandy's hand. Jessica paused, then placed her fingertips on the table, inches away from Yandy's. It was a start. The cameras clicked, capturing this tentative truce behind the scenes. Producers cheered softly. Ratings gold as they left the set. Women walked together, an uneasy alliance forming. Yandy followed Rasheeda's lead, while Jessica reluctantly fell in step. The air between them was charged, but not with hostility this time, with possibility. The afternoon sun shone brightly, promising new chapters. Yet the storm clouds of doubt still lingered. Part 3 closed on this fragile unity, leaving viewers wondering, will this alliance hold or will ambition shatter it once more? It was the first day of the Sempi. Group challenge shoot, and the atmosphere was thick with unspoken tension. Scene was set in a sprawling loft bathed in morning light. Settled on Jessica, Rasheeda moved smoothly from dish to dish, offering bites and commentary, but her voice wavered at unexpected moments. Jessica leaned back against the counter, arms crossed, nodding politely but scanning expressions like a hawk. Each line delivered carried the weight of unspoken history. As the scene progressed, the script called for light banter about summer plans, but the editor's notes hinted at injecting a bit of spicy chemistry. Producers watched from monitors, anticipating fireworks. True to form, one of the cast members half joked, "You girls look suspiciously calm." Laughter followed, but it was forced. Yandy shot a quick glance to Rasheeda, who shrugged apologetically. Jessica raised her eyebrow, a subtle challenge. The cameras cut to close-ups of their faces, fear, guilt, defiance. After a few takes, the director called cut and signaled for a candid moment. The ladies gathered on a velvet chaise, and the producer whispered, "We need raw reactions. Tell them there's a surprise guest." Yandy's brow furrowed. Rasheeda's eyes widened. Jessica smiled thinly. Moments later, the door opened, and K. Michelle stepped in carrying a letter sealed in crimson. Wax gasps rippled through the room. K. Michelle announced, "This letter contains a secret that could change everything." She tore it open and read aloud. "Only one of you will emerge untouched when the truth is revealed. Choose wisely." Silence. The camera caught every flutter of a lid, every tightening fist. K. Michelle looked at them, voice low. "Your past actions will decide what happens next." Yandy exchanged a glance with Rasheeda. They had to decide, trust the alliance they'd Jez forged or protect themselves. Jessica for once looked uncertain, her confident facade momentarily cracked. The next segment was unscripted. Each woman had to stand and reveal a secret about herself. Something real, something raw. The rule: honesty or elimination. First up was Yandy. She stood heart-pounding and spooky. "Sacrificed so much for this family, only to feel betrayed. My secret is that I still carry the pain of that betrayal every day." Her confession earned a quiet sighs from some, nods from others. Rasheeda's hand trembled as she watched her friend's vulnerability. Jessica's lips tugged into a tight smile. Then Rasheeda rose. Her voice shook as she said, "I followed someone else's lead instead of my heart, and I hurt the person I love most. My secret is that I'm afraid that apology won't be enough." Tears slipped down her cheeks and Yandy's gaze softened, though her lips stayed pressed. Together, Jessica gave a subtle nod, acknowledging Rasheeda's courage. When it came to Jessica, she stood with arms folded, eyes fierce. "My secret is that I crave respect so much, I will do anything to claim it, even if it means crushing friendships." Her words landed like stones. The room was silent. Even Jessica seemed to flinch at her own confession. The producer smiled behind the monitors. This was gold. After the confessions, K. Michelle held the letter again. "The next twist: you must vote on who deserves to stay in this alliance and who should be left out." Panic flickered across their faces. Alliances would be tested. Yandy and Rasheeda exchanged a quick glance, a silent pact forming. They would stand together, eyes narrowed, realizing she must fight or be alone. The voting began in private booths. Cameras captured shaking hands and furrowed brows. Yandy voted for Rasheeda to stay. Rasheeda voted for Yandy. Jessica hesitated, then voted for herself and Rasheeda. But her inner conflict was visible in the tight set of her jaw. The results were read aloud. "Jessica, you are safe. Rasheeda, you are safe. Yandy, you are the odd one out." The words echoed in the loft. Yandy's face drained of color. She swallowed hard, then nodded. "I understand," she whispered. She turned to Rasheeda. "Thank you for standing by me." Rasheeda reached out but could only brush her fingertips against Yandy's hand before Yandy stepped back. Jessica smirked triumphantly. But Rasheeda's eyes burned with guilt. Yandy picked up her purse and walked toward the exit. Heels clicking on the hardwood floor, the cameras followed, capturing every step she paused at. The door turned and raised her chin. "I'll see you at the reunion." With that, she left. Inside, the alliance between Jessica and Rasheeda trembled. Victory tasted sour when it was won by betraying Yandy. Later that evening, social media ignited fans reposted Yandy's departure clip rallying behind her ride-or-die tweets flooded in Rasheeda. Faced a storm of criticism for voting her friend off Jessica Bastin. Praise for her strategic play, but some called her ruthless, the winner in the court of public opinion was Yandy portrayed as the wronged hero of the studios. Ratings soared, producers cheered the uproar. Meanwhile, Yandy sat alone in her trailer, scrolling through a flood of supportive messages. Tears welled in her eyes, not from sorrow, but from gratitude. She realized that while she'd lost the challenge, she'd won the hearts of fans. She typed a quick message to Rasheeda, "Call me when you can." Then she closed her phone and leaned back, determination settling in her chest. Inside the loft, Jessica and Rasheeda faced each other in the dim glow of the wrap party. Jessica broke the silence. "You okay, Rasheeda?" "Look down live," she said, voice ragged. "But I wish things were different." Jessica shrugged. "That was the game, no regrets." Rasheeda's eyes flicked up. "Maybe I do have regrets." Jessica turned away, masks slipping behind them. The cast celebrated, oblivious to their fracture. As the night wound down, black taxis lined the curb. The ladies said their goodbyes. Yandy climbed into one, and as it pulled away, she looked back at the loft's grand windows inside. Jessica and Rasheeda stood silent outside. Yandy's silhouette faded into the streetlights. Viewers at home were left on a knife's edge. Would Yandy fight back in the next episode? Would Rasheeda's guilt push her to redemption or more betrayal? Could Jessica maintain her crown, or would it crumble under the weight of her alliances? The answers would come soon, but for now, the screen faded to